Doing a quick mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go, folks. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to bring up my level just a little bit. There we go, folks. All right. And there's the beautiful Mustang pace car, sponsored by Harper Motors. Starting on the pole there, number 16, Eric O'Farrell. And on the outside, in the number 29, Jeremiah Martin. Second row on the inside, in the number 31, it's like Dylan Cook. Excuse me, that's Nick Ford, and then the 51 is Ryan David. And the 17, Sean Wildman. And the number 62, Elizabeth Ingalls, another member of the Little House on the Prairie. And the 31C is Dylan Cook. And number 61, Bob Ratzlaff. And the 29, Jeremiah Martin. This is our Roadrunner heat race number 1. Ryan Leisure back in the house. And folks, I haven't been back here in Eureka in about 3 years, and I have no idea why I'm nervous. Probably because Ryan Leisure's just a big guy. And he scares me once in a while. Slender, handsome, and a legend in his own mind. And it looks like the horns work in all the Roadrunners. Roadrunner. And we're waiting for the 96. He's got 1 minute on the courtesy clock. 3-minute courtesy clock, 1 minute to go. Yeah, he's got 3 minutes courtesy clock. He's got 1 minute to go. And then his clock runs out. That's courtesy enough. So once again, on the pole there, number 16, Tanisha Ratzlaff. On the outside, Dylan Ford. Second row on the inside, Nick Ford. And on the outside of him, Ryan David. It looks like third row on the inside, the number 51. Oh, excuse me, I'm on the 17 on the outside. That's Sean Wildman. Fourth row on the inside as we still wait for one vehicle to get out here for their courtesy. Big Bad Bill's on the flag stand. Ready to go. These cars be fast and I be slow. And I'm on the shortest leash. Out of 4, green flag goes. This heat race is underway. Let's go racing Eureka style. Look at that, Tanisha Ratzlaff. Boom. Dylan Ford with the fastest lap of the 21.182. It looks like problems with the number 51 as they go to the pits. That's Tanisha, number 16. She should be first, right? She's running first. Okay. All right. So we do have Tanisha Ratzlaff in first place. Dylan Ford, followed by Nick Ford. And Jeremiah Martin trying to make his way on the inside. Down the backstretch he goes. That's a battle for third spot. They're side by side coming out of 4. And it's a battle for it. Jeremiah Martin now holding off Nick Ford. As the 96 finally made their way out. Solomon Keshner in that 96.
Today is Tanisha's birthday. Okay. They're on the lead.
Oh! That looks like the 20's got a little toe problem. Toe in, toe out. And that number 16, Tanisha Ratzlaff, happy birthday to her. She just got her birthday present from number 20, Dylan Ford. Our safety crew does a great job here in Eureka. It's good to be back at the Acres. As he goes screeching around turns 1 and 2. Let that be a lesson to you folks. Don't ever check your glove box when you're coming out of turn 4. Bill Middleton, another man that's a legend in his own mind, but he's a good man. It's that beautiful pace car you see out there being driven by Chris Arnold and Harper Motors. I was over in the pits talking to Chris, and I said, hey, man, you got any Shelbys over there? He says, yeah, we're waiting for one to come in. I said, well, I might just have to come test drive that little Shelby.
Well, I'm sure you were ignoring me. That's not the point, Dad.
Solomon is right here. That's his name. Look. 96, yes.
First and last name?
Yes. O-N-O-N. K-E-S-S-E-N-I-C-H. As this caution comes out. Say Jack. Oh. Wow. Yes, the horn works. He's waving. Hi. Hey, how you doing? I'm good. Thank you. Since you're being so friendly, why don't you drive over to Taco Bell real quick and get me a Burrito Supreme? Okay. And he's holding that green flag straight up in the air, meaning, hey, one to go. Next time we go by, you better stay even in the front row. And we will rock this joint. Meep, meep. Roadrunner style. Redwood Acres Raceway would also like to thank O'Reilly's Auto Parts. Mid-City Motor World. Pacific Towing does all the towing here. Big Bad Bill looks him over. Coming out of 4. Green flag. This heat race is back underway. Down the back stretch you go, and it's the 31. Looks like Nick Ford. Nick Ford, Jeremiah Martin, Bob Ratzlaff, Elizabeth Ingalls. And it looks like Elizabeth Ingalls is in that 5th spot right now. Out of 4. Whoa, and it's Jeremiah Martin and Nick Ford battling for that first spot. They're still side by side. It's Nick Ford barely hanging on right now just by a quarter panel in the front. White flag, 1 to go. Oh, and Jeremiah Martin falls way off the pace. And Nick Ford's just going to cruise out of 4. Checker flag. Nick Ford taking the first heat race for our Roadrunners. And the horn works. Nick Ford takes the checker flag for the first heat race. All right, Ryan Leisure going to Dairy Queen. Good. I'll take a chocolate dipped cone, please. All right, here comes that beautiful Mustang. I asked Chris, I said, hey man, can I drive the pace car? And he goes, well, who's going to announce? And I said, you. He says, no, I'll stick with the Mustang. I said, all right, be that way. This is our mini stocks. And into number 33, starting on the pole. Sponsored by Cat Shack Ice Cream. Premier Oil Change out of Fortuna, that is Colton Kinsey. In the number 16, sponsored by Ken's Auto Parts. John's Used Car Wreckers out of Neeland, that is Eric O'Farrell. In the number 07, sponsored by GE Logging, S&H Auto Machine. Out of Bloxburg, that is Cole Peterson. And in the number 3, sponsored by Caldwell Bank, Dan Nora Drywall, Humboldt Hair and Foot. Out of Eureka, that is Gannon Cyphers, green flag. This heat race is underway, number 1. And I recognize the number 18 out there. That's Shannon Palmer. And there's number 14. Number 14 looks like it's Jarrett Mayonnaise. Fastest time going to Jarrett Mayo with a 19.278. Look at that dive on the inside by Gannon Cyphers. Whoa, and the 7 getting a little loose coming out of 4. Colton Kinsey with a fast time there of 19.474. Number 13 of Brian Merle Jr. Brian Merle Jr. is in that number 13. Looks like he's got that thing warmed up now. Best time going to Brian Merle Jr. with an 18.646. We got a new leader now, and Gannon Cyphers in that number 3. Jarrett Mayo in that number 14, holding on to the second spot. There's Shannon Palmer in that number 18. But it's Gannon Cyphers right now. White flag, 1 to go for Gannon Cyphers. Followed by Jarrett Mayo. Mr. Mayonnaise himself. Down the backstretch they go, going into turn 3. Coming out of turn 4 for that checker flag. It's going to be Gannon Cyphers. Gannon Cyphers out of Eureka. There's Shannon Palmer out of Eureka, sponsored by Westpac Distributing, White Arc Welding, and Sportsman's Warehouse. And the only thing I really remember is that sun just being right there beside you. Blinds me when I look into turn 1. So folks, got a 2-day event here. And of course, tomorrow marks the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And we have something pretty special planned out. I don't want to give too much away, but I tell you, when I got the call from Mr. Red and Mick Moulton and all those folks, I am honored to be here to celebrate the 20th anniversary of 9/11. As we all remember, 9/11 really took America by surprise, and everything that happened that day and the events that happened afterwards. You know, it's sometimes it's hard to say exactly. Just try to remember what you were doing at that time. I know some of you folks weren't born, but 20 years ago, when the attacks on America came, and here comes that beautiful Harper Motors Mustang. Always the first one to start the race. And here comes our Bombers. And in the number 66, sponsored by Fury Construction, Jim Red, and also 101 Drive-In out of Eureka, that is Jimmy Sorrells. In the number 50R, sponsored by Thumper Racing, that is Ed Rasmussen. In the 62 JR, he's sponsored by Performance Mechanical and Excite Motorsports out of Lower Lake, that is Roy Ingalls Jr. In the 00, sponsored by Red's Family Racing, that is Jordan Krupa. In the 96, which is the 96B, but it is 96, sponsored by DSR Security out of Kelseyville, that is Shelby Helm. In the number 44, sponsored by Red's Family Racing out of Eureka, that is Donnie Brown. And in the number 24, sponsored by Red's Family Racing, 4-star mini storage, Sam Brown Racing out of Eureka, Raquel Krupa. In the number 4, he's sponsored by Lone Valley Napa out of Laytonville, that is Raymond Taylor Jr. And in the number 27, he's sponsored by Lawrence Water Express out of Ukiah, that is Lauren Powers Jr. And rounding out the back of the pack in the number 78 out of Cloverdale, that is Tony Ramazzotti. Green flag, this bomber race is underway. And it's the 50R of Thumper Racing, Ed Rasmussen. Here comes Jordan Krupa. And look at that, Donnie Brown making his way through traffic, now holds on to that 4th spot. He's about ready to pass Sorrells on the outside. Down the backstretch they go. Diving into turn 3, coming out turn 4. Whoa, and he backs off momentarily. Here comes Lauren Power Jr. And they're just getting warmed up. Donnie Brown, Jimmy Sorrells side by side. And here comes Lauren Powers Jr. to come into the mix. Ed Rasmussen is your leader so far. Jordan Krupa coming up on him. There goes Donnie Brown to the outside. And the battle is for 3rd right now, holding on with Jimmy Sorrells. Looks like Donnie Brown's getting a little loose. Donnie Brown trying to take it downtown. Fastest time going to Jordan Krupa. 18.496. Halfway through this heat race, it's still Ed Rasmussen. Whoa, and Donnie Brown getting a little loose coming out of turn 2. Nice little recovery. Fastest time going to Jordan Cooper with an 18.431. And Jordan Cooper, he's going to do anything. He better do something quick. He's looking to the outside. Now Donnie Brown's trying to go to the inside. Oh, right in the bumper of Jimmy Sorrells. That's going to bring out the caution. Caution comes out just before the white flag drops. Well, holy Toledo, buy me another burrito. That was Sorrells and Donnie Brown getting into it, and they both escaped the caution and ended up giving it to Shelby Helm and Little House on the Prairie himself, Roy Ingalls Jr. That number 78 is a Mach 1. That is Tony Ramazzotti out of Cloverdale. Sponsored by Todd Lands Construction. I'll tell you, with a 3-year absence, what a beautiful scoreboard that is. Jim Red and Company, you guys have done a fantastic job with this track. It looks fantastic. And Pacific Towing, official tow trucks here at the Acres. And I don't need to point everything out, but the sun beating over from the right side with the red hair is just intensifying it. I'm glad I got my sunglasses on, but I can't see my screens. They just rammed the back of them and said, hey, I'm right behind you. And one stalled out, and that was that. Boy, talk about a rear end job, huh? Bam! Okay, folks. Big round of applause to our safety crew for the job they do here at the Acres. It looks like Jimmy Sorrells is slowly making his way to the back of the pack. And now they're all going to play catch up. I'm not talking about something that you put on your burger. Also want to give a big thank you to Spencer Electric and Del Rica Distributing. Get on down there and get yourself a nice cold one. All right, Ed Rasmussen, green flag, we're underway. Rasmussen and Jordan Krupa. And look who's in third place. None other than Lauren Powers Jr. And it's a white flag, one to go. And it's still anybody's game. Krupa holding the outside, Ed Rasmussen on the inside. Down the backstretch they go into turn 3. Coming at turn 4, it's going to be anybody's game. Of course, all results are unofficial until all the protocol, but I would have to say just by the screw on a license plate frame is going to be Ed Rasmussen. On the front bumper, that is. Jordan Krupa taking second. Lauren Powers Jr. in the third spot. And of course, on the re-entry right there, track entry is Big T. Got to see him over there. It's good to see everybody. Matt Sullivan, good to see you. And only at his leisure is it good to see Ryan Leisure himself. DOC now. Do we have to call him sir? That's Sir Ryan Leisure, that is. And it's good to see Bill on the flag stand there. The only thing that's changed about Bill is he's gotten 2 more gray hairs on his mustache. Here comes that pace car. Okay. Chris Arnold. Well, that thing sounds tough. God, now we should play Mustang Sally. Chris Arnold himself. The official pace car. Look at that beautiful Mustang. He's always first on the track. First on race day, Ford. But if you don't like the way he drives, stay off the sidewalk. All right, here comes the Legends. He raced 1. Starting on the pole there in the number 27. Changed my glasses here. He's sponsored by Gratzel Excavating. Dave's Auto Electric out of Fortuna, Tyler Peach. In the number 5, sponsored by TIS Trucking, Brown Trucking, Eureka Payments out of McKinleyville, that is Jordan Payment. In the number 7, out of McKinleyville, that is Tyler Avalar. In the number 4, That is Mr. Rick Estes. In the number 3, sponsored by Pappy's Greasy Spoon, Real World Studios out of Canby, Oregon. That is Andy Thornton. In the number 3J, sponsored by House Dr. Paint out of Willits. That is Justin Johnson. In the number 43, that is Dave Allen. And the number 1, sponsored by Red Family Racing, Humboldt Foot and Hand Therapy out of Eureka. That is Emily Vest. That's 8 cars out there for our legends. Looks them over, gives them a green flag. We're underway. Oh, and right at the start. So that's going to be a no start, I believe. And I found out something about Tyler Peach. He's a brand new dad. He's got a boy. He says this is little Peach. That is Emily Vest in that number 1, which is the sedan model, to where the 3J is the coupe model. As we change flagmans for the Legends of the Redwood. Also want to say thank you to Schaefer's Hardware, Ace Hardware, and Bear River Casino and Resort. As they are waiting for the courtesy. The courtesy laps is basically given the person that went off into the pits a little bit of time to get their car dialed in and get back out on the track. And I see the spotter stand across the way. Beautiful looking new spotter stand here at the Acres. Boy, when you've been gone for 3 years, you really notice a lot more stuff. I never knew there were so many trees around this track. Make sure the sound's turned up. It is now. Yep. Yeah, good. So somebody once asked me, what does the yellow light mean? And I said, slow down. So he said, okay, what does the yellow light mean? Slow down. He says, okay. What does a yellow light mean? Slow down. He said, okay. What does... I said, no, it means there's a caution out on the track. Come on. All right. Tyler, eat a peach. On the inside and outside of him, Tyler Avalar. A coupe and a coupe, and then a sedan and a sedan on the number 4, Rick Estes, and on the outside of him, Andy Thornton, out of Oregon. Third row on the inside, Dave Allen in the number 43, and on the outside of him, in that 3J, is Justin Johnson, and in the number 1, Emily Vest. They're looking them over. The light is out. We are back underway. And it's about to go down. Legend style. Legends of the Redwood, Tyler Peach. At a 4, after 1, he's leading it. Well, isn't that just peachy for Tyler Peach? Fastest time belongs to Tyler Peach with an 18.252. Caution's out. That's Emily Vest. Boy, that number 4 turn just does not agree with her right now. And after 2, they're going to cross them up now. And they're being shown one at the line. Light is out. That is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing because next time they come around, that green flag's going to fly. And Ryan Leisure, don't you tell me you're going to stop the cars on the front stretch to announce them. And he looks them over. At a 4, green flag. Yep. The flag man was kind of hesitant on that green, but then he went ahead and threw it. Tyler Peach. It's Tyler Peach, Tyler Avalar, Andy Thornton, and Rick Estes. Fastest time belonging to Tyler Peach with an 18.107 for the 27. That time, the fastest time goes to Tyler Avalar, 18.138. This time around, we've got 6 laps down. Tyler Peach, 17.998 on that last lap. Let's see what he gets this time. An 18.048. Tyler Peach is running a race just like he wants to once he's out in front. I think he just welds that gas pedal to the frame. He goes into turn 3. He's coming out turn 4. White flag, 1 to go for Tyler Peach. As he dives into turn 3, coming out of turn 4 for the checker flag, your winner, Tyler Peach. Well, isn't that just peachy clean? There he is right now. Let him hear it, Akers. So we will have our second heat race of our Legends of the Redwoods. All right, here comes that beautiful Mustang. And in the number 21, sponsored by Red Family Racing, Eureka Glass. Visual Concepts out of Eureka is Tyler Krupa. In the number 11, sponsored by Caldwell Banker, Cutter Realty Property Management. Out of McKinleyville, that is Brett Merle. In the number 49, he's sponsored by California Body Shop, Redwood Glass and Windows out of Fortuna, Chris Lawrence. In the number 7C, sponsored by NorCal Transmission, Salvage Concrete Products, and Winchell Racing out of Santa Rosa, Cameron Austin. In the number 19, sponsored by North Coast Lighting and Electric, Danco Builders, Ball Stick out of Eureka, that is Brandon White. In the number 65, he's sponsored by Vino Godfather Winery. I got to visit that place. LBX Immersive out of Vacaville, that is Blake Brochers, excuse me. In the 10C, sponsored by NorCal Transmission, Salvage Concrete Products out of Santa Rosa, that's Carly Austin. And in the 12C, sponsored by NorCal Transmission and Winchell's Racing out of Sebastopol, that is Cody Winchell. There's your lineup. Legends of the Redwoods. Heat race number 2 now underway. And it's Krupa in the 21. It's Krupa and Brett Merle right there in the number 11. And now Brett starts to pull out. Slowly but surely. Fastest time go to Cody Winchell with a 17.755. And he's running last right now, but he's moving up. Brett Merle is your leader right now. Cameron Austin sitting in second. And here comes Brandon White in that number 19. He's holding on that 3rd spot. He's looking to the outside of Cameron Austin. And it's about to go down. We're at the halfway mark right now. As Brett Merle hanging on. Brandon White in that 2nd spot. He's right on the tail of Brett Merle. Dives to the inside. Look at that. Nice move. And we got a new leader in Brandon White, your new leader. Brett Merle in 2nd, Cameron Austin 3rd, Chris Lawrence in 4th. And wow, look at him go. Fastest time going to Brandon White with a 17.640 on that last lap. Down the backstretch he goes in that number 19. He dives into turn 3. He's coming at turn 4. He's going to get a white flag. 1 to go for Brandon White. Down the backstretch into turn 4. Coming out of it for the checker flag, Brandon White. Then it's Brett Merle, Cameron Austin, Chris Lawrence, Cody Winchell. That's your top 5. Once again, all race results are unofficial until they go through tech and all that good hunky-dory stuff that they got to do in the pits there. Speaking of bright, here comes our official starter. Okay, folks, so I have been told that we're going to take a quick, short break, so if you have to get something at the snack bar, I'd get down there. If you want to go down there and shake the hands of Bill Middleton, you can do that. Just be careful. And if you want to get yourself a cold one, courtesy of Del Rica Distributing, we will be back momentarily.
Welcome to fun, rewards, and more chances to win. Bear River Casino and Resort is waiting for you. Visit the River's Edge restaurant. Stay at the beautiful hotel. But you want to stay at Bear River Casino and Resort.
Hey y'all, downstairs at Redwood Acres Raceway, you can visit Cook's Barbecue and get yourself a good pulled pork sandwich or all the other barbecue fixings that you can dream of. But be sure to stop down and see Cook's Barbecue downstairs in the grandstands.
DCI Builders has earned a reputation as a premier construction company in Humboldt County. Their goal is consistent performance, high-quality workmanship to meet their customers' needs, and being a knowledgeable resource for all of their customers. We are continually grateful to serve and be a part of your community. Please contact DCI Builders for any type of building you need. Harper Ford and Harper Kia is your destination for a new or used vehicle. Located just north of Eureka on Highway 101, Harper Ford is your premier Ford dealership in Humboldt County. If you need a new or used vehicle, visit Harper Ford and Harper Kia. Mercer Fraser Construction has been a longtime supporter of Redwood Acres Raceway. Located at 77 West 2nd Street in Eureka, Redwood Acres Raceway would like to thank Mercer Fraser for their continued support. Mid-City Motor World is your local Toyota and Honda dealer just north of Eureka on Highway 101. You can reach them at 707-443-4871 and visit their website at midcitymotorworld.com. If you need a new Toyota or Honda, contact Mid-City Motor World. For all of your automotive needs, you need to check out O'Reilly's Auto Parts. They're in Eureka, Fortuna, and McKinleyville. Redwood Acres Raceway would like to thank O'Reilly's for their continued support. Pacific Towing is a proud supporter of Redwood Acres Raceway. Next time you need a tow or you get your keys locked in your car, contact Pacific Towing. They're located at 210 V Street in Eureka and can be contacted at 707-443-8482. That's Pacific Towing. Redwood Acres Raceway would like to thank Pape Machinery for all of their support in 2021. Pape Machinery is your local Caterpillar dealer, so if you're looking for machinery, go visit them. Pape Machinery is located on Jacobs Avenue, just north of Eureka. Redwood Acres Raceway would like to thank Schaefer's Ace Hardware and Henderson Center for their continued support. If you need anything related to your home or garden, please visit Schaefer's Ace Hardware in friendly Henderson Center. Spencer Electric has more than 30 years experience in electrical, including underground, healthcare, industrial, traffic signals, commercial, and residential wiring. If you need anything electrical, contact Spencer Electric at 707-441-9004. Find your cut and style at Supercuts. They are now open in the Bayshore Mall. You can contact them at 707-443-1515 to schedule your next hair appointment. Supercuts. Valley Petroleum is a proud supporter of Redwood Acres Raceway. If you need petroleum, visit one of their many card locks located throughout the North Coast.
All right, everybody, welcome back. And I'm not talking about Mr. Kater. We got main events. Coming up first is our B-Meet Roadrunners. We're going to stop them on the front stretch. And I've already consulted with the Mr. Flagman down there. We'll start from the back and work our way forward. That way we give the person on the pole the recognition. Oh, got that in stereo. Okay, starting on the outside there with the number 16. Sponsored by K. Wiss Construction, Dean Creek Resorts, out of McKinleyville, that's Tanisha Ratzlaff. And on the inside in the number 61. That's number 61. That is Mr. Bob Ratzlaff. And we've got the third row on the outside in the number 62. Sponsored by Excite Motorsports out of Lower Lake. That is Elizabeth Ingalls. In the number 31C, sponsored by Cook Racing, that is Dylan Cook. In the number 17, sponsored by Clyde's Towing, John's Used Cars and Wrecker, that is Sean Wildman. Second row on the inside in the number 51. Sponsored by Mom and Dad and Mafalti Electric, that is Mr. Ryan David. And on the front row, on the outside in the number 31, sponsored by Napa Auto Parts, A&M Towing, Bud's Mini Storage from Samoa, that is Nick Ford. And on the pole, sponsored by HPS Martin Construction, Jay West with Mobile Diesel Repair out of Eureka, that is Jeremiah Martin. And of course the official pace car sponsored by Harper Motors, driven by a man with too long of hair, that's Chris Arnold. And that beautiful white pace car, Mustang. Mustang Sally. Think you better slow your Mustang down. And Big Bad Bill tells him to cross it up. One thing that's changed, I don't see the breakout anymore. Uh-oh. And it looks like 29's going to either dig in the dirt or, that's going to bring out the caution. Oh, thank you, Homer. Well, it looks like go ahead. Dilly time. So the 29s go into the pits. That's the pits, but at least he didn't have to have the hook to bring him to the pits. Want to thank you, Don's Rental and Supercuts, now at the Bayshore Mall. O'Reilly's Auto Parts wants to welcome all race fans. And HL, which is Humboldt Lighting. Thank you for your sponsorships. We appreciate that. I mean, after all, we do have Bill's pension to think about. The only thing that's changed about him is he's got 2 gray hairs now on his mustache. So he went from 57 to 59. Tomorrow marks the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and we all remember what happened on 9/11 20 years ago. How many firefighters, how many policemen, how many lives were lost. So we will have a special treat for you tomorrow right here at Redwood Acres Raceway. And I see that banner over there that says, rev up your winnings. Well, if you're going to go over to any of the casinos, why don't you just say hello to my money over there? And that only happened because I didn't have enough money to pay attention. It is so good to be back here at the Acres. So as we wait for the courtesy laps, okay, the time has expired for the courtesy lap for number 29, which means number 29, that's not a very good sign for Jeremiah Martin. And he makes it out. So they'll cross him up. Now on the pole, Nick Ford. Ford is the last name, which means first on race day. Big Bad Bill is Sweet William now as our flag starter. Looks him over, coming out of turn 4. Green flag with main event is underway. And it's Nick Ford and Ryan David in the number 51. And look at that, Bob Ratzlaff in that 61. Boy, he's fighting for that third spot. Backs off momentarily. They're side by side after one. Fastest time going to Ryan David with a 21.003. And they are 3 wide, battling for that third spot. That's just a little love tap from the number 17, just saying, hey, I'm back here. Sometimes rubbing is racing. Sometimes a love tap means he's got a crush on you. And sometimes that tap is, I'm going to crush you. After 3, it is Ryan David. Ryan David pulls off the best time with a 20.412. I had to do a double take on that number 51 of Ryan David. As he comes out of 4, here comes your leader, Ryan David. Sporting that black and orange Harley Davidson colors of that 51, Ryan David. I don't know what Jeremiah Martin did, but he is making his way and now holds on to the 3rd spot. Who actually started on the pole. And now there comes the move over flag. 51 dives to the inside. Shows his IQ. And look at that. Now in 2nd place, Jeremiah Martin, in that 29. We're going to have to check to see if he went to the pits and put in some nitro fuel. And this time around, we are 10 laps down, and Jeremiah Martin has now made his way up into the 2nd spot. But he's been pulling off some fast times with the 19.742 on that last lap. And once again, a 19.871. Still the fastest car out there, that 29. Either he put some super unleaded in that car or he put some Stola Schneider in it. Still the fastest time, Jeremiah Martin in that 29. 19.619. And look at that, whoa. A little rubbing there between Ryan David and the number 17 of Sean Wildman. Wildman starting to turn into the wild child. They go to the outside. Here comes the move over flag. And Ryan David still driving hard. Jeremiah Martin still trying to give all he's got. .51, your leader. It's a good thing he doesn't have 50 following behind him. But he's got the number 29, Jeremiah Martin. That's his time going to Jeremiah Martin, 19.703. And look at that, he's looking to the inside now. Has the pole, go to the pits, has to start in the back. Look at this. With just under 10 laps to go, He finds himself right there where he started from. He's looking to the inside. He's going to back off momentarily. He's going to let him pull them around the track. Sometimes when you're right behind somebody, you can make the man nervous. That looks like the number 51 just doing a little bit of blocking there. Kind of going high, going low, going high again, going low. Ryan David doing everything he can to block him. Here he goes. Looking to the inside. Don't let up. Keep the pedal to the metal. In fact, just take that gas pedal and weld it to the frame. And he's trying to go to the inside. And he's still side by side going into turn one. And they're still side by side. Oh, they're coming into some traffic though. This could be touch and go. They're side by side. It's a battle for first position. The next time they come by the start-finish line, they're going to see a solid color flag. Martin going to the outside. Backs off momentarily. Here it comes. It's going to be a white flag, one to go. He's looking to the outside. Uh-oh. Everybody keeps moving. And they do. Holy Toledo, it's a free-for-all. He comes out of 4. And it's going to be Ryan David. Once again, all results are unofficial until the big man says, okay, we're good. And that the big man is the tech man. Nick Ford, yes, your horn still works. Boy, I tell you, sometimes you block, sometimes you don't, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes it rains. Think about that one. All right. When he gets out of his car, let him feel that Eureka love. There is Ryan David. Give him a big round of applause. And he's showing that number 1 finger there. At least it's the 1. Give another round of applause. Let him hear it. And we start from the very back outside. I'll let Big Bad Bill get down there. All right. Sponsored by Westpac Distribution, White Arc Welding, Sportsman Warehouse out of Eureka. Give it up for Shannon Palmer. She wants to say also, thanks, Dad. In the number 7, sponsored by A&M Towing, Far West Trucking, Fred's Body Shop out of McKinleyville. Give it up for Allison McCarty. Third row on the outside is the number 13, sponsored by McKinleyville Barbershop, Jordan Payment Construction, and Dad out of McKinleyville. That is Brett Merle Jr. On the inside, in the number 14, sponsored by Central Avenue Service Center, West Green Company, Dwayne Johnson Trucking, California, out of Blue Lake, that is Jarrett Mayo. And that's mayonnaise. In the number 3, sponsored by Caldwell Banker, Dan Nord Drywall, and Humboldt Hand and Foot, out of Eureka, that is Gannon Cyphers. In the number 07, sponsored by GE Logging, S&H Auto Machine, Round Prairie Ranch Firewood, out of Blacksburg. Give it up for Cole Peterson. And on the front row and on the outside, sponsored by Ken's Auto Parts, John's Used Cars Wreckers, Clyde's Towing, Wally's Machine, from Neyland, Eric O'Farrell. And on the pole, number 33, sponsored by Cat Shack Ice Cream, Premier Oil Change, Sherlong Auto Lube, and Brandon White Racing, from Fortuna, Colton Kinsey. Brian Merle Jr., not Brett Merle. Copy that.
And then the 7 is
It's who? Okay. Okay. Jerry Peterson. Number the 07. And then
It's the dad racing his son's truck. So that's the dad. It's usually Cole, which is the son.
okay, but it's Jerry. And I'm told the 07 is actually Jerry Peterson driving the dad. And that's Brian Merle Jr. I should have known that one. Merle family's a great family, but don't make me climb that family tree. Because last time I did, I broke my arm. Light is out. Main event, mini stocks. It's about to go down. Colt Kinsey in the 33, starting off with a good shot. Here comes the 07. Jerry Peterson. Fastest time going to Colton Kinsey with a 19.597. Eric O'Farrell riding hard in that number 16. And here comes mayonnaise. Fastest time goes to Gannon Cypher with a 19.008. And we got 5 laps into it. Gannon Zeifer finds himself in second spot. Looking sharp, looking for love. And I have found out that that is not Eugene Palmer's old truck. Shannon Palmer going to the pits now. Gannon Zeifers continues to pull off the fastest laps. Here comes Jarrett Mayonnaise. Whoa, getting a little loose there, Zeifer. Look at that, almost 3 wide, coming out of 4. Colt Kinsey says, just meet me in the middle. Look at that, Gannon Zeifer going to the inside, and here comes Jarrett Mayo. Oh, maybe a little bit too much. That almost looked like a serenaded dance move right there because they all 3 started spinning. That's going to bring out the caution. Drill sergeant's going to get mayonnaise right there. Came in a little too strong. What do you think about that one, Jarrett Mayonnaise? It was like one sequence of all 3 of them spinning, but only 2 of the cars touched. Why did the third one start? Well, because it's a dance move. Well, we might as well all go in sequence. Either that or all 3 of them were listening at the same radio station and it was playing Drifting Away. And at his leisure, which is Ryan Leisure right there, he finally learned how to stop the cars on the front there and announce them. Ryan and I go way back, and Ryan's a great guy. He just thinks he has leisure life. And 33 is being told, get to the back. Basically, get back, Jack. Jarrett Mayo sent to the back. I'm telling you, folks, the Acres is looking beautiful, and it's a beautiful night. Great night for racing. As they check the lineup, and they also have the courtesy laps for if anybody's in the pits. Well, as they figure out the lineup here and who's going to go where. I believe a pizza's being ordered, so I will take a pepperoni pizza with everything on it. Nope. Scratch that, hold the onions. And hopefully when they come around, we'll start doubling them up. They're being shown one at the line. And yes, they are doubling them up, which is so. Lights are out. Which is a beautiful thing, because next time they come around, if the front row stays side by side, that green flag's going to fly, and it's going to fly faster than a butterfly going across the sky. And on the pole, Brian Merle Jr. We are back to green. Everybody getting a little loose, getting their tires re-warmed up. Whoa! Up high, getting a little squirrely, getting a little sideways. Another lap completed. That was the number 16 of Erica Farrell. Getting a little loose. Brian Merle Jr. leading the way in that number 13. Here comes Jarrett Mayonnaise. And right behind him, Jerry Peterson in the 07. And Gannon Cyphers. And just like that, the three that did the sequence dance, they're right there, second, third, and battling for third and fourth and fifth, back in the top five. Jarrett Mayo in the second spot in that number 14. And here comes Gannon Zeifer battling for that third spot. It looks like Colton Kinsey's falling off the pace a little bit. That's that number 33. And the 07 of Jerry Peterson not going away easy. Brian Merle Jr. A lot of racing blood in that family, the Merle family. And Brian Merle Jr., he's just got the pedal to the metal. He's doing a fantastic job protecting his lead. Jarrett Mayo in the second spot. Gannon Zeifers in third. And there's the move over flag, moving on over. The big bad dog is coming through. Oh, and on the back stretch, that's Colton Kinsey. Set caution there for Colton Kinsey. Only thing I can say is so we got Brian Merle Jr. in the lead. Jarrett Mayo, second spot. In the third spot is Gannon Cipher. Then the 07 of Jerry Peterson driving tonight. Normally it's Cole. Trying to tell the number 7. Well, with that beautiful spotter stand, I guess the spotter said, hey, just go ahead and floor it and get up there in the back of the pack. And the 33, of course, spinning on their own. Goes to the very, very back. Now they're going to cross them up. Big T back there. For the longest time, I forgot his first name was Tony. They called him Big T. I thought it was for a big tree. So, Brian Merle Jr., your leader on the outside, Jarrett Mayo. Second row on the inside, Gannon Zeifer. And on the outside is the 07 of Jerry Peterson. Third row on the inside. Believes that it's the number 16 of Eric O'Farrell. Green flag, this main event back underway. And they come in at 4. It's still Brian Merle Jr. As the sun settles down here at the Redwood Acres Raceway, it is the mini stocks out there are our main event, and it's Brian Merle Jr. doing the family tradition, and that's winning. Fastest time going to Gannon Zeifer with an 18.901. Jarrett Mayo is trying to make a move. Don't know if he's got enough power there to catch Brian Merle Jr. He's trying. Down the backstretch they go. It's 13 and 14. White flag, one to go for Brian Merle Jr. If Jarrett Mayo's going to do something, now's the time. Down the backstretch he goes. I don't know if he's got enough power. Out of 4 for the checker flag. Your winner, Brian Mull Jr. Jarrett Mayo taking on that second spot. Gannon Zeifer in the third. Of course, all results are unofficial until the big tech man says they're all okay. As we wait, there he comes. Brian Merle Jr. making his way around. Mini stock main event winner. As he undoes his straps and brings the net down. He's going to take his helmet off. He's got to comb his hair because he's got a photo opportunity here. Let him hear it. Doing the family tradition there, winning. There he is, Brian Mull Jr. Let him hear it one more time. Lucky 13. One more big round of applause for Brian Merle Jr. Now be easy when you hit the top of the car, Brian, you might dent it. All right, we got another main event coming up, our Bombers. And folks, tomorrow, you're going to want to be here at Redwood Acres Raceway. It'll be the 20th anniversary of 9/11. As we all remember 9/11, 2001, what happened to America. If you're an American, you're going to want to be here. We have something special planned. I don't want to give it all away. Just trust me when I say you come here, you're going to see some good racing, and you're going to see some memorable things going on here at the Redwood Acres Raceway. And here comes that Harper Motor pace car, first car out on the track. For our Bombers, sponsored by Harper Motors, driven by Chris Arnold. As we wait them all to come on out. And of course, we start from the back and we work our way forward. So it's going to be on the very back on the outside. And we'll wait for Big Bad Bill to get there. In the number 96, sponsored by DSR Security out of Kelseyville, Shelby Helm. On the inside, number 78, sponsored by Acura Pool and Spa and Todd Lands Construction from Cloverdale, Tony Ramazzotti. On the fourth row on the outside, in the number 4, sponsored by Long Valley Napa, Grandpa and Dad out of Laytonville, Raymond Taylor Jr. In the number 50R, sponsored by Thumper Racing, give it up for Ed Rasmussen. Third row on the outside. In the number 66, he's sponsored by 101 Drive-In, Furia Construction, Souls Family Racing. Give it up for Jimmy Souls. And on the inside, in the number 27, sponsored by Lawrence Water Express, TNT Towing, out of Ukiah, Lauren Powers Jr. Second row on the outside in the number 24, sponsored by Red's Family Racing, 4-Star Mini Storage, Sam Brown Trucking, out of Eureka. Give it up for Raquel Krupa. And on the inside, sponsored by Red Family Racing, out of Eureka, Mr. Donnie Brown. Front row, outside, in the 00, sponsored by Red Family Racing, out of Eureka, Jordan Krupa. And the number 62 JR that's on the pole, sponsored by Performance Mechanical and Excite Motorsports from Lower Lake, Roy Ingles Jr. There is your main event lineup for your Bombers. Being lit around with the Mustang Sally, sponsored by Harper Motors. All right, they're going to cross them up. Jordan Krupa, sponsored by TJS, on the outside. Right beside Roy Ingles Jr. And we're not talking about Little House on the Prairie, we're talking about bomber style. And with Big Bad Bill on the flag stand, it's about to go down. Green flag, this main event is underway. Bombers. And look at that, here comes Donnie Brown. Jordan Krupa on the outside. And it's still Roy Ingles Jr. holding on. Here comes Donnie Brown in the 44. Uh-oh. Roy Ingles Jr. gets a little sideways, and everybody follows suit. That's going to bring out the first caution. Boy, I guess everybody was on the loose there, huh? I'm getting a little crossfire traffic. Director of Competition heading on down. You know what I'd like to do is get myself a little kiddie pool, fill it with water, put it right next to the flag stand, and see Bill Middleton do a double gainer into it. That would be cool. If not, just a simple backflip with a twist.
I was gonna say we've been scoring at a 62 all night. So if they're a 63, not tonight. 62 is better.
All right. Ed Rasmussen making his way back out. Plug came loose. Did it? No. And Ed Rasmussen putting the throttle Jimmy Sorrells in that 101 drive-in. Jordan Krupa, the 00, also sponsored by TJS. And they are getting everything worked out here. Taking care of all the bugs and all the official starts. There's Lauren Powers Jr. and that number 27. Raquel Krupa, also sponsored by TJS. And Raymond Taylor Jr. finally making his way back out. Jordan Krupa, Reds Family Racing and TJS. And doubling it up, there goes Donnie Brown in the 44. In the third spot is Lauren Powers Jr. in the 27. And in the fourth position is Reds Family Racing, also sponsored by TJS, is Raquel Krupa. And I've been told there's an extra 5 points if you can get Ryan down there. I'll tell you folks, it's good to be back here in Eureka. Been gone for about 3 years, and I am honored to be here, especially with the 20th anniversary of 9/11 coming tomorrow. Got to see a lot of old friends, and beautiful city here, Eureka. Living on the coastline. One of the funnest things. Now they're going to double them up. I think I'll do some seashells by the seashore tomorrow. She sells by the seashore. All right, so it's Cupra, Brown, Powers, Cupra, Sorrells, Helm, Ingalls Jr., Rasmussen, Taylor Jr., and Ramazzotti. That sounds like a monster movie. Nope, it's a bomber main event. As they come out of 4, Big Bad Bill looks them over, gives them the green flag. And Lauren Powers Jr. is looking, driving hard. He passes Donnie Brown. He's looking the outside of Jordan Krupa. And these drivers, they have a passenger in the car. So they can't get on that racetrack until their registration and their insurance is all paid up. And it's Jordan Krupa leading the way. Here comes Lauren Powers. She's looking on the outside one more time. And they're side by side going into 3. Coming out of 4, still side by side. Lauren Powers with the fastest time of an 18.571. And now Lauren Powers Jr. in first. Jordan Krupa second, Donnie Brown, Raquel Krupa, and Shelby Helm. That's your top 5. And now Donnie Brown starts to take over from Jordan Krupa for that second spot. Krupa getting a little loose coming out of 4. A nice save. And now Lauren Powers Jr. is not looking back. Lauren Powers Jr., Donnie Brown, Jordan Krupa, Raquel Krupa, Shelby Helm, Raymond Taylor, Roy Ingalls Jr., fastest time going to Lauren Powers Jr. with an 18.244. And don't forget, tomorrow night is championship night for the Upstate Bombers. And Lauren Powers Jr.'s got that bomber dialed in just right. But he can't let up at all because behind him he's got a Brown, Krupa, and Krupa. Fastest time going to Lauren Powers Jr. again, 18.752. Still no change. After 13 laps down. So I tell you, these cars, now is the time where tires start to take effect, but look at the 50R And look at the glowing rotor on the front tire all the way down the backstretch. Boy, talk about Ed Rasmussen lighting up somebody's life. He's lighting up that rotor. It's like a glow stick in there. And now Shelby Helm takes over that fourth spot from Raquel Krupa. Now Shelby Helm's got Donnie Brown and Jordan Cooper to go through. He's got Jordan Cooper in his sights. He's right on his tail. And it's going to be a battle for that second and third and fourth spot. Shelby Helm looking to the inside of Jordan Cooper. Now they're side by side coming out of 4. Shelby Helm making another move. So it's Lauren Powers Jr., Donnie Brown, Shelby Helm now in that third spot. And now he's looking at Donnie Brown, downtown Donnie Brown. Boy, with the brake rotor glowing so much like that, metal's got to give away sooner or later. Lauren Powers Jr. just driving through traffic through the outside of him. And I got to make a quick battery change. Okay, folks, I got to admit something. I was changing batteries in my microphone when that happened, and it scared me because I thought my microphone blew up. Wow. Talk about your heart jumping. And once again, give our safety crew a big round of applause. They make sure our drivers are safe. Let's not worry about the announcer. Never change batteries in the middle of a race again. Note to self. Well, that's going to change the aspects of this because Lauren Powers Jr. is now going to have downtown Donnie Brown right next to him. So Lauren Powers Jr. is your leader, Donnie Brown in second, Shelby Helm third, and one scared announcer in the very back. Well, that's just going to give Ed Rasmussen some time to cool off those rotors. That's what I started thinking at first after I realized it wasn't my microphone. If Ed Rasmussen's rotor finally gave out. Want to say thank you to the Clarion Hotel by Humboldt Bay. Checked in there this afternoon. Got down here to the track. And it's a beautiful night here in Eureka. The moon looks like that McDonald's character with the guy who sings. And yes, I should have listened to my better half because I didn't bring my pants and I'm in shorts and I am starting to get a little cold. But it's okay. All right, come on, everybody. Sweet Carol. Ba, ba, ba. So good, so good. Ba, ba, ba. Once again, Eureka. Come on, everybody. So good, so good. Bam, bam, bam. Redwood Acres Raceway would like to thank you to Supercuts, now located at the Bayshore Mall, O'Reilly Auto Parts, also Mid-City Motor World, and also Harper Motors. Also wants to give thanks to Humboldt Lighting, excuse me, Don's Rent All, and of course, Delrica Distributing. As they cross them up, all right, so we got Lauren Powers Jr. And on the outside of Lauren Powers Jr. is Shelby Helm in the number 96. And 44, of course, is in the back because he left the track, then came back. Get back, Jack, because the green flag flies. This main event's back underway. Lauren Powers Jr. and Shelby Helm. Well, look at that, look at that. And on lap double deuce, it's Lauren Powers Jr., Shelby Helm, Raymond Taylor Jr., and Roy Ingles Jr. Holy Toledo, it's a free-for-all. And here comes Raquel Krupa in that 24. Looking to the outside of Roy Ingles Jr. for that first spot. And here comes downtown Donnie Brown, the number 44. He ain't going away quietly. Fastest time belongs to Lauren Powers Jr. with an 18.507. .26 laps down, and now downtown Donnie Brown goes to the inside of Roy Ingles Jr., and now he takes over that fifth spot. Raquel Krupa now in the fourth position, and she's got her sights on Raymond Taylor Jr. And just like that, bing, bang, boom, we're back in the top five. And Raquel Krupa, boy, I tell you what, did something right with those Cheerios, because now she's going for that third position. Look at that. Raquel Krupa to the inside for that third spot. Raymond Taylor Jr. is not going away just quite yet. Down the back stretch they go. It's a battle for the third spot. And we've got 30 laps down. She's still side by side with Raymond Taylor Jr. Boy, talk about flooring it there. Look at that. And Raquel Krupa still side by side. Looks like she's going to go ahead and take over. She does. She takes over that third spot. And here comes Donnie Brown. Donnie Brown looking to the inside. And it's 44 against 4. 4 on the floor. And I guarantee you they're in fourth gear. And now Donnie Brown takes over that first spot. Raymond Taylor Jr. coming up on the rear end. Not enough power. And we've got 33 laps down. Ed Rasmussen still glowing with that front tire. He's easy to spot. Just look for the glow stick. Lauren Powers Jr. is driving a great race as he comes around for lap 35. Shelby Helm holding on to that second spot. Raquel Krupa's now in third. And Tony Ramazzotti going to the pits. .36 laps down. It's still Lauren Powers Jr., Shelby Helm, Raquel Krupa, Donnie Brown, Raymond Taylor Jr. Then Roy Ingles Jr., Ed Rasmussen, and Jimmy Sorrells. And I did that without looking at a computer. And there's your leader coming to the start-finish line right now. He comes out of turn 2, and the next time he comes around to the start-finish line, he's going to have one solid color because he's coming out of 4 right now. White flag, 1 to go. Boy, if Donnie Brown or Shelby Helm got a nitro system in the car, now's the time to hit it. He's coming out of turn 4, number 27, Lauren Powers Jr. And once again, folks, all results are unofficial until the big man, that's the tech man, and everybody has gone through and has cleared. As he slowly comes around. Sponsored by Lawrence Water Express, S&S Sports Enterprises. Shelby Helm stops and wishes him congratulations. Donnie Brown gives him a good thumbs up. Roy Ingalls Jr. tells him read the book, Little House on the Prairie. And Jimmy Sorrell says, I'll get you a burger at 101 Drive-In when we get back. As they start to get their helmets off and got to make sure their hair is combed because they got a photo opportunity. There he is, Lauren Powers Jr., let him hear it. Drove a fantastic race, Lauren. Congratulations. His passenger, he wanted me to be his passenger, but then he said I needed to get some new deodorant before I get in his car, so he took his wife instead, so. Lauren Powers Jr. TNT Towing, Lawrence Water Express, S&S Sports Enterprises, and one set of slick tires. Give him one more round of applause. Lauren Powers Jr. And coming up next now is our main event for the Legends of the Redwood. And don't forget, folks, tomorrow we have a fantastic schedule lined up for you for the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Our official starter for the Legends of the Redwood, Doug Pulver. And once again, there's my Mustang. And we'll start again from the back and work our way up to whoever's on the pole. "14 legends out there. 14 legends. Starting on the outside In the number 1, sponsored by Reds Family Racing, Humboldt Foot and Hand Therapy out of Eureka. Give it up for Emily Vest. On the inside, in the number 43, put your hands together for Dave Allen. 6th row on the outside in the 3J, sponsored by House Dr. Paints out of Willits. Let him hear it for Justin Johnson. On the inside is the number 3. He's sponsored by Pappy's Grease Spoon, Real World Studios, and South Clackamas Community Church out of Canby, Oregon. Put your hands together for Andy Thornton. On the outside in the number 4, put your hands together for Rick Estes. And on the inside of Rick is the number 7. He's out of McKinleyville. Put your hands together for Tyler Avalar. 4th row on the outside in the number 27, sponsored by Gratzel's Excavating. And Dave's Auto and Electric out of Fortuna, Tyler Peach. On the inside, he's sponsored by Vino Godfather Winery, LBX Immersive, Dave Franzoni Realty out of Vacaville, Blake Burchos. 3rd row on the outside in the number 19, he's sponsored by North Coast Lighting and Electric, Danco Builders, out of Eureka. Put your hands together for Brandon White. And on the inside, in the number 12C, he's sponsored by NorCal Transmission and Winchell Racing, out of Sebastopol, that is Cody Winchell. 2nd row on the outside, excuse me, that is the number 7C, sponsored by NorCal Transmission, Winchell's Racing, Salvage Concrete Products from Santa Rosa, Cameron Austin. On the inside, in the number 49, sponsored by California Body Shop, Redwood Glass and Windows from Fortuna, Chris Lawrence. As we make our way to the front row, it's about to go down. And on the outside, in the number 11, sponsored by Caldwell Banker, Cutter Realty Property Management, and Westpac Produce Distribution from McKinleyville, Brett Merle. And on the pole, in the number 21, sponsored by Reds Family Racing, Eureka Glass, Visual Concepts, 6 Rivers Mechanical from Eureka, Tyler Krupa. Harper Motors official pace car, Chris Arnold, is gonna take it away. The Legends of the Redwoods. Main event. Boy, that's a replica of Richard Petty. Richard Petty would not be happy right now. You better get going. Be careful, that might be Danica Patrick driving. And there goes that Mustang. I say we take that Mustang for a spin later on tonight. We'll just let Chris take the Fusion. He'll never go for it. I'll wait till he brings the Shelby. All right, pace car has left the track. Main event is about to go down. Legends of the Redwood, main event. Tyler Krupa, Brett Merle on the front row, Chris Lawrence, Cameron Austin in the second row. He's going to give him one at the line. He gave one at the line. And the light is out. That means next time they come around to the start-finish line, they are gonna see that green flag fly. I want to hear how loud the acres can get when that green flag flies. Make some noise. Holy Toledo, buy me another burrito. Look at Brett Merle. And after one, it is Brett Merle. Tyler Krupa. Oh, it's getting tight there for that second spot. Cameron Austin going to the outside. Here comes Chris Lawrence trying to get into the mix. Chris Lawrence diving to the inside. Brandon White on the outside. Fastest time going to Cameron Austin with an 18.327. And Cameron Austin right on the tail of Brett Merle. And here comes Brandon White in that number 19. And we got 4 laps down, and it's still anybody's race. Look at Brandon White. He's looking to the outside of Cameron Austin. Oh, and we had a spin out there on 2, but she made her way back. That's Emily Vest. It's still Brett Merle. Cameron Austin still holding on to that second spot. Here comes Cody Winchell, too. Cody Winchell and Winchell Racing. Brandon White to the inside. Now Brandon White holds on to that second spot from Cameron Austin. They're side by side going out of 2 down the backstretch. They go. Brandon White looking to the inside. He's side by side with Brett Merle. Here comes Cody Winchell. And just like that, easy peasy Japanesey, we got a new leader, Brandon White, Cody Winchell, Brett Merle, Cameron Austin, Chris Lawrence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. "11 laps down, and it's Brandon White." Yep. Fastest time going to Brandon White with a 17.763. And the battle is for that 3rd spot. Chris Lawrence is looking on the outside of Brett Merle. He backs off momentarily, single file they go. Now Chris Lawrence going to the inside of Brett Merle for that 3rd spot. Whoa, getting a little loose there. Nice save and a nice move by Cameron Austin. Cameron Austin diving to the inside. There goes your leader right now. So it's Brandon White, Cody Winchell, Chris Lawrence, Brett Merle, Cameron Austin. Now it looks like Brett Merle now has given it up to Cameron Austin. Fast time going to Brandon White with a 17.707. And here comes your leader. Right there. 18 laps down in this main event. Legends of the Redwoods, Shootout Night 1. And 21 laps down. It is still Brandon White. Brandon White is showing some spectacular times, 17.782 on lap double deuce. Boy, once he gets out into first, man, that's it. He doesn't look back. A 17.833, and that double high five. Just under 10 to go. Brandon White, your leader. Legends of the Redwoods, Shootout Night 1. Tyler Peach trying to make his way up into the top 5. He still has a lot of ground to go. Chris Lawrence is a stepfather. And there's your leader right there, Brandon White. Number 19, Cody Winchell, Chris Lawrence. And the battles for that third spot between Chris Lawrence, Cameron Austin, and Brett Merle. "30 laps down. And Tyler Krupa going out the pace, makes it to the pits. And now, 32 down, ready to go. They be fast, I be slow. Number 19, reeling them in. And Cody Winchell really is bringing on some power there. Fastest time going to Cody Winchell with a 17.730. There it is, white flag, 1 to go. He goes down the back stretch. He goes into turn 3. He's coming out turn 4. Checker flag, your winner, Brandon White. Don't forget, folks, tomorrow, 9/11, 20-year anniversary. Got something special planned for you, folks. Well, we wait for him to get out of his car. Let him hit Redwood Acres, Brandon White. So, Brandon, looks like you got up into first place there in a hurry. Tell me, give the right Cheerios to this car or what?
Oh, yeah, I definitely, man. Dave did the love on this car when I had it on the off time, and this thing just came alive. We tried a new setup tonight, and this thing was amazing. I can't thank Ballistic Precision, HTC, and everybody out at the here that came out tonight, and I can't thank you guys enough for coming.
So this is, it's been 3 years since I've been at the Acres, and is this a birthday present early for me?
Yeah, I'd say so, and me, because my birthday is coming up too.
Brandon White, give him a big round of applause, folks. Folks, don't forget, tomorrow, 9/11, 20-year anniversary. I want to see you here. If not, I will get everybody's address, and I got a whole bunch of chickens at home, and they got plenty of eggs for me. Love to see you here tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Welcome to fun, rewards, and more chances to win. Bear River Casino and Resort is waiting for you. Visit the River's Edge restaurant. Stay at the beautiful hotel. But you want to stay at Bear River Casino and Resort.
Hey, y'all, downstairs at Redwood Acres Raceway, you can visit Cook's Barbecue and get yourself a good pulled pork sandwich or all the other barbecue fixings that you can dream of. But be sure to stop down and see Cook's Barbecue downstairs in the grandstands.
DCI Builders has earned a reputation as a premier construction company in Humboldt County. Their goal is consistent performance, high-quality workmanship to meet their customers' needs, and being a knowledgeable resource for all of their customers. We are continually grateful to serve and be a part of your community. Please contact DCI Builders for any type of building you need.
Harper Ford and Harper Kia is your destination for a new or used vehicle. Located just north of Eureka on Highway 101, Harper Ford is your premier Ford dealership in Humboldt County. If you need a new or used vehicle, visit Harper Ford and Harper Kia.
Mercer Fraser Construction has been a longtime supporter of Redwood Acres Raceway. Located at 77 West 2nd Street in Eureka, Redwood Acres Raceway would like to thank Mercer Fraser for their continued support.
Mid-City Motor World is your local Toyota and Honda dealer just north of Eureka on Highway 101.
You can reach them at 707-443-4871 and visit their website at midcitymotorworld.com. If you need a new Toyota or Honda, contact Mid-City Motor World. For all of your automotive needs, you need to check out O'Reilly's Auto Parts. They're in Eureka, Fortuna, and McKinleyville. Redwood Acres Raceway would like to thank O'Reilly's for their continued support. Pacific Towing is a proud supporter of Redwood Acres Raceway. Next time you need a tow or you get your keys locked in your car, contact Pacific Towing. They're located at 210 V Street in Eureka and can be contacted at 707-443-8482. That's Pacific Towing. Redwood Acres Raceway would like to thank Pape Machinery for all of their support in 2021. Pape Machinery is your local Caterpillar dealer, so if you're looking for machinery, go visit them. Pape Machinery is located on Jacobs Avenue, just north of Eureka. Redwood Acres Raceway would like to thank Schaefer's Ace Hardware and Henderson Center for their continued support. If you need anything related to your home or garden, please visit Schaefer's Ace Hardware in friendly Henderson Center. Spencer Electric has more than 30 years experience in electrical, including underground, healthcare, industrial, traffic signals, commercial, and residential wiring. If you need anything electrical, contact Spencer Electric at 707-441-9004. Find your cut and style at Supercuts. They are now open in the Bayshore Mall. You can contact them at 707-443-1515 to schedule your next hair appointment. Supercuts. Valley Petroleum is a proud supporter of Redwood Acres Raceway. If you need petroleum, visit one of their many card locks located throughout the North Coast.